The world is most definitely rising. If you watch the news, you'll likely walk away believing we're living in the darkest, most hopeless era in human history. Every scroll feels like collapse. Every headline feels like a crisis. Every notification feels urgent. But what if I told you the opposite is true? What if I told you the world is rising and rising fast? Welcome to the Systems Lab. Today, I'm going to show you a reality that almost nobody talks about. A reality backed by hard data, decades of progress, and human resilience. The world is getting better, much better, and the truth has been hiding in plain sight. Not because it isn't real, but because positive trends don't create outrage. They don't generate clicks. They don't fuel fear. So today, we're going to zoom out, step back, and look at the system, not the noise. Once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Let's break the illusion. First, poverty is collapsing. Let's start with a number that should be on every headline on Earth. Over the last 30 years, 1.2 billion people escaped extreme poverty. Let's say that again. 1.2 billion humans have risen from survival to stability. That's not an incremental change. That's the largest economic uplift in human history. 30 years ago, 36% of the world lived in extreme poverty. Today, less than 9%. And extreme poverty isn't having less than your neighbor. It means not knowing where your next meal comes from. It means no reliable shelter, no clean water, no stable income, no safety net. That percentage collapsing from over 1/3 of humanity to under 1/10 in a single generation is nothing short of extraordinary. And what does that mean in real terms? It means more food, more income, more security, more opportunities, and more dignity. It means parents can send their children to school instead of work. It means families can build savings. It means communities can build infrastructure. It means governments can invest forward instead of surviving day to day. Countries like India, China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Ethiopia, once labeled poor or developing, are now building middle classes larger than the entire population of Europe. China alone lifted over 800 million people out of extreme poverty. India's digital infrastructure and banking expansion connects hundreds of millions to financial systems for the first time. Vietnam transformed into a manufacturing powerhouse. Bangladesh became one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And here's the quiet part nobody talks about. Every single day, roughly 137,000 people move out of extreme poverty. Every single day. That is humanity's quiet revolution. And it's happening without fireworks, without dramatic headlines, without an applause. Now, here's where it gets even more powerful. When poverty falls, everything else accelerates. Which brings us to the next system. Education is absolutely exploding. The world is getting smarter and fast. Global literacy jumped from 68% to 87% in just 2 generations. Think about that. Nearly 9 out of 10 humans on Earth can now read and write. That's not just education, that's access to information, access to contracts, access to medicine instructions, and access to opportunity. And the biggest improvement? Children, especially girls. More girls entered school in the last 20 years than in all of human history before it. That single statistic may be one of the most important shifts of our era. Because when girls are educated, child mortality drops, family income rises, economic growth accelerates, political stability improves, intergenerational poverty declines. Education compounds across generations. But here's where the curve bends sharply upward. Digital learning changed everything. Imagine this: a kid in rural Kenya, a teenager in Mumbai, a young woman in Brazil, a boy in a remote village in the Philippines, all learning from the same online courses taught by MIT, Oxford, Stanford, Google, top YouTube creators, AI-powered tutors. For the first time in history, knowledge is not geographically gated. You no longer need to be born in the right city, into the right family, with the right connection. If you have a phone and internet, you have access to the world's knowledge infrastructure. Education is no longer limited by borders, money, or privilege in the way that it once was. And as internet penetration increases, especially in Africa and Southeast Asia, this effect multiplies. We're not just educating millions, we're unlocking billions. The world isn't falling behind. The world is leveling up. And when education expands, health follows. Healthcare is quietly transforming the entire world. Let's talk about health, because the numbers here are almost unbelievable. A century ago, average life expectancy was about 38. Today, it's 73 globally. In Canada, the US, Europe, Japan, Australia, 78 to 84 years of age. We literally doubled human life in 1 century. Not for elites, but for humanity. And this doesn't happen because of one miracle drug. It happened because systems improved. Antibiotics, clean water, sanitation infrastructure, modern surgery, improved nutrition, maternal care, emergency medicine, trauma response, diagnostics, small, incremental improvements compounded across decades. Child mortality has fallen by more than 60% in 30 years. Diseases like polio are nearly eradicated. Measles deaths have collapsed compared to historical norms. Malaria rates have fallen dramatically in many regions. Cancer survival rates are at an all-time high in developed countries. Heart disease treatments are more advanced than ever. Organ transplants are routine. Immunotherapy exists. Gene therapy exists. And now we're entering a new phase. AI diagnostics, robotic surgery, personalized medicine, CRISPR gene editing. The next 20 years will likely compress medical breakthroughs faster than the last 50. Humanity isn't weakening. It's adapting, healing, extending. And healthier populations don't just live longer, they produce more, learn more, build more, which requires energy. Let's talk about that system next. The clean energy revolution. There's a narrative that we're doomed environmentally, but something remarkable is happening underneath the headlines. Last year, more solar capacity was installed globally than coal, gas, and nuclear combined. Solar is now the cheapest form of electricity ever created in human history. Not adjusted for inflation, ever. Wind costs have collapsed. Battery storage costs have dropped over 80% in a decade. Electric vehicles are scaling globally. Grid technology is advancing rapidly. Entire villages in Africa and India gained electricity for the first time, not through coal plants, but through distributed solar microgrids. Countries like Costa Rica, Iceland, and Norway generate nearly 100% of their electricity from renewables. China is building solar farms so massive they can be seen from space. The Middle East is investing billions into solar infrastructure. The US and Europe are scaling clean energy manufacturing. This isn't a fringe movement. This is a systemic energy transition. And it matters because energy is the master input. Cheap, reliable electricity equals education, healthcare, manufacturing, digital infrastructure, income growth, entrepreneurship, stability. When energy becomes abundant and affordable, human potential accelerates. We are not heading toward collapse. We are heading toward abundance. And abundance changes behavior, which leads us to something deeply misunderstood. Safety and peace are at historic highs. Despite violent headlines, you are living in the safest era ever recorded. Historically, humans were far more likely to die from war, tribal conflict, raids, banditry, public execution, famine-related violence. Today, fewer wars between major powers, lower homicide rates across most developed nations, longer periods of global peace between great powers, safer international travel, safer cities, safer childhood survival rates. Human beings today are less likely to die from violence than at almost any point in recorded civilization. Are there conflicts? Yes. Are there tragedies? Absolutely. But when you zoom out, when you look at rates per capita over centuries, violence has trended downward. Your grandparents lived in a more dangerous world than you do. Your great-grandparents lived through world wars. Your ancestors lived with constant local violence. This relative peace is not accidental. It's linked to trade, education, economic interdependence, global communication, international institutions, economic growth. Prosperous societies are less likely to collapse into chaos, and that creates something powerful. Space. Space to think, space to build, space to innovate, which brings us to the final chapter, the opportunity era. This is where you come in, because all of this global improvement, all this rising stability, all this expanding infrastructure creates the greatest opportunity window in human history. We live in a world where anyone can start a business from a phone, a creator can build a global audience, a consultant can serve clients worldwide, a developer can launch software to millions, an operator can automate income streams, online skills can create global income, AI gives leverage to individuals, knowledge is limitless, markets are worldwide, distribution is borderless. You don't need permission, you need skill, systems, execution. We are entering an era where intelligence compounds faster than capital, where small teams outperform large institutions, where individuals with leverage outperform organizations with legacy. And the narrative that everything is falling apart is often a distraction from the fact that the system is evolving. This is not decline. This is not collapse. This is the beginning of a new human chapter. A chapter of potential. A chapter of intelligence. Of transformation. The world is not perfect, but zoom out far enough and the trajectory is clear. Humanity is rising. And the question is no longer, is the world getting better? The real question is, what will you build in an era like this? Welcome to the Systems Lab. If this shifts your perspective, do 3 simple things. Like the video so more people see the bigger picture. Comment with what trend you would like that you think will define the next decade. Subscribe if you want more long-form thinking like this. And if you're serious about building inside this opportunity era, not just watching it, my books are linked below. They're designed to help you think in systems and execute with leverage. I'll see you in the next one.